The bottom line to the law was to understand the heart of God. And that heart was a heart of love. And understanding and being in relationship with him cured everything. I mean, think about it. If you love the Lord your God, you don't put anything else before him, and you love your neighbor as yourself, would you be walking down the street, see your neighbor's dog in a ditch or his foot stuck or something and never take it out? No, you wouldn't be like, oh, that's my neighbor's dog, I don't care about that stupid dog, blah, blah. No, because that's not love. If you saw your neighbor on the side of the road hungry or in need of a ride in the middle of the winter, you wouldn't just leave him there, because if you did, that's not love. You know, so he had to write all these rules out because he was dealing with heathens, man. He was dealing with a unrighteous generation of people, you know. But this is what it boils down to. Romans chapter 10 discussed that the people of Israel, the children of Israel, had a zeal of God. In other words, they had a concept of God, no different than in today, okay? But they didn't fully understand. They were not fully acquainted with. They didn't have it according to knowledge. You understand what I'm saying? So because they didn't comprehend who God was, they didn't comprehend the righteousness of God, how to obtain the righteousness of God, how to be in right standing with God. That was not understandable because they only understood the concepts of law, but not taking the law and saying, oh, if I do this, then this means this. They weren't relating it. See, it's like understanding the law of the land, but not understanding the lay of the land. Understanding to do something, but not why you do it. You follow what I'm saying? So they went about, like I said, establishing their own righteousness. And you'll find that even in Romans chapter 10. And this is what he said. He said, Christ is the end of the law for righteousness. You know, so attempting to follow the law won't put you in right standing with God. It will not. But being in relationship with the Father will put you in right standing with him. But you must first go through the way, the truth, and the light, the life, which is Yeshua. You must go through him, you know, and if you're in relationship with him, then you can get to the Father. OK, so that's what it boils down to at the end of the day. Relationship, love, relationship, love. It's all about the heart. You know what I'm saying? And wherever your heart is, that's where your treasure is. Understand that. Not only that, but whatever condition your heart is in, it determines how you will or won't receive something, whether you will or won't receive it even. OK, if your heart is right, then you'll receive good things. If your heart is evil, then you'll receive those things that are evil. It's all the condition of the heart. And based on where your heart is and the condition of your heart, your mind and everything that's tied to that, your will, your emotions, all of that. Wherever you are in the core of your being, in your heart, that's what determines what you'll get out of life. Whether you'll receive what God is offering you or whether you won't receive it. OK, if you go to this parable about the sower, which you'll find in Matthew, Mark and Luke, you'll see that he said some seed was thrown on the wayside, and then other seed was thrown on stony ground. Then you'll see where it says some seed was thrown on good ground. See, read that parable and understand it, because that's one of the most important parables. And if you understand that, then you understand a lot of things. You understand the majority of what God is saying to you. Matthew chapter 6, verse 21, like I said, says this: for where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. Whatever you treasure, whatever is most important, that's where your heart is. So when we go back to this whole characteristic of number 4, wanting to be seen of men and concerned with appearances, see, you can put up a good front, but if your heart ain't right, God ain't having none of it. And because he ain't having none of it, then those of us who belong to him shouldn't be having it either. So don't be enamored and what's the word for it? Overwhelmed with people because of their position that they put themselves in most cases. Don't be overwhelmed. Don't be enthroned with that. Be enthroned with God. Be overwhelmed by him. Be amazed by him. Because in doing that, then you'll do his will. You'll be in relationship with him, and love will be easy for you. See, love is so hard for people. I'm going to tell you. One of the parts of our ministry is the storehouse. And if you get a chance and to go over to the website, simplycrystal.org, go over to our partnership page just so you can read about what the vision is about. People will spend money on food that they don't need. I'm talking about out at restaurants. You know, just imagine if a person took that $5 or $6 they were going to spend on something to stuff down their face that ain't even good for them, ain't even worth nothing, and put that into the kingdom of God, into a ministry like mine or the other ministries that are actually doing the work of Christ, that are continuing the work of Christ. Just think how many people we could feed with that. Just think how many people we could look out with that you give us, you know. But they want something so deep. They want something because they're used to these people who love to put up appearances. See, so if I don't come on here and I'm not decked, and I thank God for how he caused me to do this, because he don't care about how you feel about what I look like. Okay, I look like a kid. I'm not a kid. I'm a grown woman, because I've been sized up by people in ministry. Okay, because they're not sure how to receive me, because what comes out of my mouth is God, is his word. But when they see me, it's like, she look like a kid. Okay, I'm over her. No, you're not over me. It's not an issue of over and underneath and all of that. It's about, are we going to come together and do this kingdom work together, or are we not? It's not about someone lording over someone else. We're all servants. Feed my sheep means we are serving the sheep. You know what I'm saying? So how do we get this position of I'm above this person, you're above me, I'm underneath you? That's foolishness. The only person that I'm underneath is my Father and my brother, Yeshua. That's the only people that I'm underneath. But because people put up appearances, when it comes to doing the true work of the ministry, people are so confused because they've been so used to being pimped and pillaged and all of that. And you'll see that on my video, on my partnership page, that when it comes to really doing see, if God laid it on your heart to be a blessing, you'd be like, well, I got to give my tithe. I got to give my offering. Well, see, that's the game, because as long as you're doing what they want you to do and you're burdened by the things that they're giving you to do, you'll never do the work of the ministry. You'll never do what God is calling you to do. You know, Paul was, that's why he was so excited about the churches that were being a blessing to him, because he was like, you know what? I'm overwhelmed because I didn't ask it of you, you know, but you saw the need and you met the need. And that's what I appreciate about the people of God. They see the need and they meet the need. They understand that love encompasses more than just what's in your circle at the time, what you want to do, how you want to do it. It's about getting the work of the ministry done. And that's enough of that, because that was definitely a sidebar, because I had no intention on going that direction. But just so you understand, it's not about appearances or outward stuff. It's about what's on the inside. And get on the inside of stuff. Find out what people are talking about. Find out what people are saying. The fifth characteristic of the scribes was that they love titles. And you guys know this oh too well. We talked about this when we talked about the Pharisees. The Sadducees were not different. And the scribes are no different. They like to be called rabbi. They like to be seen in the synagogue. You know, they like the chief seats at the tables, you know, when they go to the marketplace. They like the greetings. Hey, rabbi. Hey, preacher man. You know, hey, bishop. Hey, elder. I still have this thing with church folks that I despise, because when they come up to you, they praise the Lord. My name is sister, or my name is brother. And I'm still trying to figure out, is that your first name, or is that your middle name, or is that your last name? Because last time I checked, we weren't named names like, we weren't named our titles. You know, so it's about being real. You know what I'm saying? What is your name? Tell me your real name. Why you got to be sister? Because for all I know, you ain't my sister. You ain't my brother. And that's what Yeshua said. He said, who is my mother? Who is my brother? And who are my sister? But them that do the will of my Father. So as far as I'm concerned, if you ain't doing the will of the Father, you ain't my sister no way. So don't impose yourself as being my family. Don't jump to conclusions yet, because I don't even know you yet. You know what I'm saying? So it's about being real, but they love titles. Okay. And I want you to understand a few things here that the Bible explicitly says in verse 9 of verse 23 of chapter 23, call no man father upon the earth, for one is your Father. And don't call people master. Okay. So these people that like to be called rabbi and priest and father this and master that and all of that, that's some garbage. There is only one.